Today, we're going to dig into a pretty intense argument, the idea that the reality you and I experience is being systematically replaced. It's a really stark way of looking at our world, framing it as a six-layer simulation that's basically designed to manage us.
Yeah, so that quote really sets the tone, doesn't it? This isn't just some philosophical thought experiment. The core idea here is that what we call real is actually an elaborate construction, and it's being built all around us, right now. This is presented as a very real process. And here's the crucial part. It's happening layer by layer. The argument is that our reality is being swapped out with a simulation built to control our perceptions, our behaviors, and maybe even our sense of self. So let's actually go through these 6 layers and see how it all supposedly fits together.
Look, it's an unsettling way to see things, for sure. But the argument goes that understanding how the system works is the absolute first step to getting your own perspective back. So, let's pull back that curtain.
Okay, so we're starting with the most visible layer, what's called our mediated reality. This is the very foundation of the simulation, a world built not on actual substance, but on symbols.
You know, there used to be a pretty clear line between actually living through something and just hearing about it. But now, our reality is almost completely dominated by coverage, these prepackaged interpretations. Headlines take the place of real understanding, labels replace actual people, and the symbols about a thing become way more important than the thing itself.
Now, to really get this layer, think about where the word brand actually comes from. It's not just some friendly marketing term. It literally comes from the practice of burning a mark into livestock. Why? To show ownership and to make sorting them into groups easy. The argument is that this is exactly what's happening to us. We're being branded by stories and sorted into these predictable, manageable groups. So if that first layer is the new environment we live in, the next two are all about the machinery that trains us how to behave inside it. This is the conditioning machine, and it's designed to reshape not just what we do, but how we even process information itself.
And this conditioning process follows a really clear 3-step path. First, algorithms and social metrics, likes, shares, views, they reward certain behaviors. They give you a little hit of approval. So what do? We repeat those behaviors, right? We become more performative to get more rewards. And the result? A huge gap opens up between how we act on the outside and who we really are on the inside. It's the death of authenticity. This whole process leads to what the source calls the collapse of information. See, the system replaces information, which actually answers questions and helps you understand things, with content. And content has a totally different goal. It's not there to inform you. It's designed to make you react, to grab your attention, and to trigger an emotion. I mean, just think about the logic of it. If you ever actually felt a sense of resolution, like a problem was solved or you understood something, you'd log off. You'd move on. The system can't have that. It needs you to stay engaged, so it's built to keep you in this constant loop of emotional reaction, always chasing a conclusion that, by design, never comes. Okay, as we get deeper into the simulation, we find the real engines driving this thing. In layers 4 and 5, emotion and story, they aren't just side effects of the system. Nope, they are its primary weapons of control. Ever wonder why so much of the content you see is built around fear, panic, and outrage? It's simple, really. Because, as the source puts it, nothing, and I mean nothing, drives engagement like fear does. It's the ultimate fuel for this machine. And fear is weaponized for some very specific reasons. It makes us react way faster and think a whole lot less. It just erases all the nuance and complexity from a situation. It makes us want to share warnings with our friends, and it literally sears events into our memory. From the system's point of view, it's an incredibly effective tool for manipulation. And this brings us to the next layer, narrative warfare. The source argues that people don't get radicalized by facts and data, they get radicalized by stories, compelling stories that give them heroes to root for, villains to hate, and a clear, simple moral purpose. Now, this is where the model gets truly controversial. It basically frames our whole political divide not as a real ideological battle, but as simple audience segmentation, like you're marketing soda. You've got 2 simplified tribes, 2 predictable emotional markets, and you just set them against each other. And while everybody's down here fighting, the system that creates and profits from the conflict is never even looked at. All of this leads us to the 6th and final layer, the theater of power. This is the grand finale,
where the simulation becomes all-encompassing, and the levers of control are just pure performance.
The argument here is devastatingly simple. Politics is no longer about governing. It has become a form of entertainment, a stage that's designed to absorb all of our attention, not to actually solve any real-world problems.
And the evidence, this argument goes, is all around us. You've got these dramatic congressional hearings where nothing comes of it. You have these emotional, fiery speeches that don't change a single policy. And you have this endless cycle of scandals where, in the end, there are never any real consequences. It's all just part of the show. The psychological trick here is it's incredibly powerful. This whole political theater creates this amazing illusion that we're participating. It makes us feel engaged, it makes us feel informed and involved, when in reality, we're just spectators sitting in an audience.
So if this is the system, what's the way out? Well, the conclusion isn't to go out and fight the machine. The argument is that the most powerful thing you can do is just see it. Just understand it for what it is. Because once you see how the magic trick works, the illusion just completely loses its power.
And that really leaves us with one final, crucial question. Once you recognize the stage, the actors, and the script, can the performance still control your emotions? Can it still command your attention? Or does reality, finally, start to peek through the cracks?